Wayward Courier, Chapter 7. You heard me right. 3 of the children, girls too, have been taken as slaves. Makes you wonder why they would let them just walk off. There was a dragon, though I can't see how he's much of a threat, except for the whole fire-breathing thing. But seriously, he was 2 feet tall. He's not going to be any good in a fight, which is exactly why Twilight made sure he stayed put. When they told me what was going on, I guess I might have snapped a bit. Can you blame me? No one deserves to be forced into slavery, not even raiders. Really? You took down an entire slave base? By yourself? Well, fuck. Remind me not to piss you off. I'm going to help you. What? Twilight asked the courier. She turned from Applejack and Fluttershy to see that he had found all his clothes and his weapons. He had a strange box-like thing with a large cylinder on one end, in his hand. I said I'm going to help you rescue those girls. The ponies couldn't help but notice just how creepy he sounded with his helmet muffling his voice, or how scary he looked with it on. You can't stop me, and neither can they. Look, Twilight started to say, only to be cut off by Applejack. I reckon he should come, the farmer said. Think about it, Twi, she continued in response to the bewildered stare she got. We only got away last time because they weren't expecting us to fight back, and because Rarity managed to do whatever she did. We ain't got that this time. They know we're coming. Twilight shook her head as she tried to conjure a counter-argument, only she was interrupted again, this time by Fluttershy. Twilight, I'd rather not fight, but if we have to, we should have somebody who knows how. If you think we should. Twilight gaped at her friends, but couldn't fight it in her to be angry. They had just pointed out 2 major flaws to their... They didn't even have a plan. She realized in shock. They were just going to blindly rush there and get caught themselves. You can come, Mr. Courier. She was sure she could see a smile under that mask. But you have to listen to me. Fine. He made to go out the door before bringing himself short. Something tells me that going outside won't be a good idea. We can't take him outside, Twilight said to the other ponies. Applejack, you acted violently, and you're one of the most level-headed ponies I know. What do you think the rest of the town will do? The 3 mares became more pensive as they tried to think of a way to get their new friend out of the library undetected. Don't worry, I got this. They turned to see him pull out a strange savage and attach the thing to his wrist. They got the shock of their lives as he vanished from sight. This thing will only last an hour. We better move. Stealth boy, where would I be without you? Probably splattered on some wall in the divide, I guess. So we get there, and it's some huge dirt plain. Took about 2 hours to get there, but we were out of the town in about 45. Maybe 50 minutes. Didn't get caught. Let me tell you, it was so fucking colorful. There really isn't much more I can say about that place. Honestly, it's the kind of thing you need to see for yourself. Okay, a bit about what we were fighting. They're called diamond dogs. They eat gems, rocks, they can tunnel, they're incredibly fast and strong. Basically, take a bit of Deathclaw and mix in a tunneler of the divide. They're also dumber than a mutant, about as good in a fight as a chem addict with a broken arm, and about as armored as a nudist. First thing I did, pulled my submachine gun off my back and made sure the rounds in the chamber. First thing Twilight did, the purple one, didn't even write a list. Put that away. That's what she said. No, really. No, I'm not making this up. I'm not going down there without being prepared. Then I checked my sequela. 6 handload rounds. Maximum damage and efficiency. Displacer glove, energy cell fully charged and ready. Marksman carbine, a full magazine of hollow point rounds. Definitely prepared. I don't want you hurting them, though. They're naive. They think they can solve any problem with enough talking. Sometimes they be right. I guess you know what happens when talking breaks down, though. Remember how I said some folks don't deserve a second chance? Those who take children from their families as slaves are on that list. I would have continued, but my HUD started showing red blips everywhere. Twilight was about to resume her argument, only to be interrupted by the sound of ominous rumbling. Uh-oh. The mare looked around frantically, trying to locate the source. Applejack and Fluttershy were doing the same, Pegasus muttered to herself fearfully while the farmer had pulled out a lasso from somewhere. The courier just stood there, calmly, as though he had known it was coming. A horrifying thought struck Twilight. How did he know? Were his intentions far from pure? Had this all been a ruse to get them enslaved as well? She got so caught up in these thoughts that she only noticed the diamond dog appeared 2 feet from her left when it was too late to move. Her eyes went wide as she beheld the spear in one hand and the net in the other, the twisted sneer and glee it was wearing. Time seemed to slow as she tried to focus her magic. A teleport was out of the question. She didn't have enough time to charge up the spell. The best she could do was pull up a shield or push the dog away with her telekinesis. Before she could decide what to do, there was a sound akin to an explosion and the smell of something burning. The diamond dog fell, his expression one of horror and confusion as the gaping hole in his chest bled out. There were 5 more explosions in quick succession, followed by 5 thuds and a matching number of pained howls. Twilight quickly looked around to see 5 more diamond dogs, each one of them on the ground in complete agony. She didn't know what had happened. Her first thought was that maybe she had done something in panic. "What did you do?" Applejack yelled. The unicorn turned to her friend, aware that the angry outburst was directed at her, and saw her looking at the human in terror. For his part, the human seemed the perfect model of tranquility. They watched as he did something with his weapon, knocking out a cylinder part and shaking loose 6 shells, and replacing them with 6 apparently fresh ones with a speed and efficiency that could only come from much practice. Twilight shuddered at the thought of how much practice he must have had. "Why did you just stand there?" he asked harshly. "How could you kill them so easily?" Twilight yelled back, doing her best to make sure her gaze didn't linger on the corpses. "Scum like that don't deserve to live," he said venomously. "I was doing the world a service." At that moment, another diamond dog, unaware of the situation topside, burst from the ground right behind the courier. Twilight yelled out a warning that wasn't needed. The courier dropped to one knee, avoiding the first swing made by the diamond dog. The second punch was blocked, and immediately countered with an uppercut to the chin with his left fist. This sent the canine reeling into his doom. The courier leaped forward, bringing his right fist down heavy on the diamond dog's head. Normally, this would have knocked unconscious and left him with a serious concussion. With a displacer glove, there was little in the way of head remaining. The spray of gore that ensued was, for lack of better wording, tremendous. The pony stared wide-eyed and in terror as the courier turned around, splattered with brain, blood, and bone. "What?" he asked calmly, as though nothing had happened. Applejack took a step back towards Fluttershy, who had long since fainted. I can't do this, Twi. I just can't," she stammered. "I can't be around this fella if he's going to go murdering all these diamond dogs." "Applejack," Twilight said before trailing off, "take Fluttershy back to the library. Get Spike to send the princess a letter. We might need help." "Can do, Twi," the farmer replied, immensely happy for the reason to not be around the human. "Where are they going?" the courier asked, pointing a finger at the 2 disappearing ponies. "To get help," Twilight replied, not adding that said help might wind up fighting him. There was a brief moment of silence. "How are you able to do that?" the unicorn asked. "If you want to survive where I'm from, you gotta be prepared to let a part of you die," the human replied, a note of sadness in his voice. "Namely, the part of you that knows that killing is wrong." The courier sighed. "I'd rather solve this whole mess with words, believe me. But they attack first. We ain't got a choice now but to finish it." The courier looked around. "Let's find a way down," he said. "Those girls ain't gonna save themselves." Author's notes. Well, I ain't got much, really. Enjoy, I suppose.